Hey, what's up, you guys? I wanted to do a follow-up video for my first one I did last Sunday about Inmate Survival. You guys remember, I came in here fresh, day one, kind of got a sneak peek into what this game had to offer, and, well, it is now day 18. I actually streamed this 2 different days, and we're going to go after that special loot. That thing just dropped. And here's what I've come up with. I've pretty much built everything I could that's available in the game so far. Like I said, it's early access. It's being updated fairly often. Obviously, here I got one of these log carts, right? Really good. Take it out with you. Obviously, get a lot of extra logs besides just what's in your inventory. On my person, I have a bone helmet, and I have bone armor, as well as, if you can see here, the inventory you start with is just these first 3 rows. And that's not bad, but when you're trying to collect stuff, and if you go out and take on a couple fights pretty far away, you run out of space pretty quick. Well, I found the alligators or crocodiles needed and was able to open up double the space with the backpack. I also crafted the steel axe, the steel pickaxe, the steel hammer. I found multiple combat knives in drops. I had a pistol here on number 5, but I wore it out. And I found an AK-47. The only things I haven't found via drops, and that's why we're going to go check that one out, is the shotgun and the sniper rifle, which apparently are in here because I have ammo for them. Here we have crates, these wooden chests. I've got a few of those around. Right here, you can see I'm growing vegetables. Now, this is really, I don't know if it's the only way, but it is the absolute best way to get your carbs out of all of these things. Thirst, easy. Proteins, easy. Meat. Fats, easy. Vitamins, easy. Carbs is a tough one. So, you need vegetables. And you find these randomly out there. We may find some as we walk. So, cucumbers. I got cucumbers. I've got corn and watermelons. And the cool thing about the watermelons are they don't degrade. You can see these have been in here for a long time. They don't actually degrade. There's also cans of food like this, which you can see give you water, protein, carb, fat, and vitamins. So those are good to have. Here is a corn here, 25 carbs and 15 fats. And then your watermelon covers vitamins and water, which is really good as well. And as soon as you get enough to have seeds, then you can plant them, and you got to water them. But it does rain, and if it rains, it will water it for you. Here I've got a excuse me. Here I've got a loom. This is where you dry your animal skin to make either leather or cloth. A couple of water stills. I made 2 of them just because of watering those vegetables early on. Here's a couple drying racks. And the good thing about the drying rack is you put the meat on, leave it there, like these were on there, dried meat. The dried meat lasts longer than the cooked meat. But if you put it on here and just leave it here, right, it doesn't degrade until you pull it off. And then if you go out and you get some fresh meat, pull these off, put the other ones on, and leave these here till you need them. So I've got 6 of them just waiting, as well as the upgraded campfire here, which adds that bucket to the top of it. You got to make the bucket, and it puts this bucket hanger over the top. So it starts with the 2 cooked foods sections, but then it allows you to do boiled food, which is raw potato or mushroom. Now, I have the same thing going on here. You can leave it in there and pull it out as you need it, right? It won't degrade. But as soon as you pull it out, it'll start degrading and it'll go away if you don't use it. So that's pretty cool, the campfire. Here's the anvil. These are all things you didn't see in the first episode. I wanted to show you all of this to show you like where it's at, and if you're interested in playing this game, know that at about say 18 to 20, you're at the point it is right now, you're probably going to run out of things to do. So here's where you make the nails. Here's the bucket for the campfire. You can make that with 3 iron ingots. Nails, you need to be able to make nails to build, a decent sized house. That's all the materials in the anvil, and then you've got your weapons/tools. combat knife, the steel hammer, steel axe, steel pickaxe. That's it in the anvil. Here is where you actually will melt down your ores, right? So you can melt sulfur and iron as of right now in the game. It says copper and aluminum. That may be coming up in the future. But sulfur and charcoal, this thing will produce charcoal just like the campfire. So sulfur and charcoal mixed together makes gunpowder. Gunpowder makes the ammunition that you need for whatever gun. Here's the workbench. Materials. This is the bag, the backpack, which doubles your inventory space. 2 crocodile skin and 4 leather. I'm like, I didn't know where the crocodiles were. All of a sudden I came in and they weren't far from my house. So I made that. I wasn't able to make the plastic bottle yet because I only had 2 or 3 plastic. I made a couple coconut flasks, which you need if you're going to move water around, like transfer it from your still to the campfire. You'll need this coconut flask, as well as you can carry it with you with fresh water to drink. But I would just rather carry watermelons. It's easier. Or fine watermelons. Here's the gunpowder. See, 2 sulfur, 8 charcoal makes 10 gunpowder. And you need 10 for pistol ammo, 20 for AK ammo. Cloth made out of the dried animal skin, or leather made out of the dry animal skin. And then the armaments, here's your bone armor chest. 10 bones and rope, right? You just get the bones from killing animals. And you get the heads also from killing animals. So 5 bones and 1 head to make it. And this makes a huge difference. You take no health damage. Like I was getting bitten by this warthog, and there's a leopard in here, or cheetah or panther or something, I always get that wrong, that attacks you. It didn't take my health down, it just degraded my armor. So that works really good. Wooden bow, I never made that because I wasn't killing birds, but wooden bow and arrows. Your pistol mag, shotgun shell, you can see 10 gunpowder, 3 gunpowder per shell, 20 gunpowder for 1 mag of 30, and then the sniper bullet is 20 gunpowder for 8 bullets. That's the workbench. Got another wooden chest here. These lanterns I found, you set them down, they light up at dusk, which they have a nice subtle light, but as soon as it goes dark, they go out. So I'm not sure about those. And I've got this place here, got another lantern over there. I extended it to this corner. Here's my bed where you sleep and save. I've got 3 chests here. There's some of my original bone armor that took all those hits from those animals. Duct tape, empty cans, batteries. I have no idea what this stuff is for. I can't find anything as of now. All these health kits, pills, ammunition, knives. I found these sniper rifles and the shotgun shells in drops. It's like something that I don't use until I actually get the gun. I wouldn't make it, so I definitely found all that stuff. Now, as far as respawning goes, right here, closest to me, I cut down all my trees. It took about, say about 10 days, and the trees came back. They all came back. I've chopped them down again, the local ones. Then all you have to do is make your way in a little bit farther. It's the skinnier ones. These trees here, you don't chop those down. And then if you see a little like glitch at the bottom of my screen there, that's actually my bone armor. It's clipping through my bone armor. That's what that is. So it's just a little graphical glitch, which I'm sure they'll work on. Once you get a pickaxe, and even get a steel pickaxe, these things are awesome. You get all the iron and sulfur you need. There's no worries. I mean, you see all the rocks around? This is go up to one rock and show you. Like this particular one should be a sulfur one, I think. 1, 2, 3 hits. So 3 hits, and there's sulfur, and there's sulfur. So you get 2 iron or 2 sulfur per rock, and it's only 3 hits. With the stone one, I think it's more like maybe 5 hits with the stone one. But there's the iron right there. Same thing with the axe. 1, 2, 3. So 3 hits knocks the tree down to give you the logs you need. Pretty cool. All right, it's 13:14. I'm going to head out here. We'll see if we see any cucumbers or corn, watermelons along the way. Should be interesting. Now, if you take a closer look in the bottom left corner of my stamina bar, I'm actually holding sprint and never letting up. So what it does, actually I moved it there, but what it does, it'll just kind of keep resetting it partially. This is what the watermelons look like in the wild. They're the easiest thing to spot is the watermelons, right? Because they're big. Pick them up, drop them out of your inventory, hit them with your axe or something. They'll break open and you can eat them. Now, the cucumbers and potatoes are just laying in open fields, like randomly wherever. You have to see them laying down. If you're close enough, you can identify them pretty easy. The corn, on the other hand, is a plant. See how bushy this is? It's a single stem plant. Hopefully we'll see one along the way. The corn seems to be a little bit more rare to me, but nevertheless, it is around. Now, I haven't actually been up here. This looks like where a river forms. Just on the other side of the river, over there, you can kind of see that's where the swamp was. Like, literally from the base straight over was the swamp. And I wasn't able to show you here, but what happened in the game was, I think there's a certain turning point after you finish the tutorial, right? I don't know if it was just after I finished the tutorial or as soon as I made that bed, there's a cucumber right there. So that's what the cucumber looks like laying in the wild. They're just literally laying on the ground. And as you can eat the cucumber and corn raw. You do eat them raw. And then they'll give you seeds and then you replant that. So that works out really good for your carbs. These are pretty cool looking. That actually looks like a color that could be aluminum in the future. Possibly. So we're heading up through here. But what happened was, at some point early on, after I started kind of building, enemy bases started spawning, and it would have this same symbol, this octagon or whatever that is. That symbol there, instead of saying special loot, it would say enemy base. And there was a bunch in this field here, and a bunch kind of stretched around over there. Maybe 10 total, and one by one, I would go and pick them off. Some of them had one person at them. Some of them had two people at them. Some of them had guys who had pistols, and some, they just were come chasing you with their fists. Every inmate that you'd take out, you could loot them, as well as they would have a chest in their enemy base that you would loot. Had 3 spots in it, and not too long after you cleared that base, it would disappear. There's corn right there. Here's corn right here. You see how it's a single stem versus what those plants look like? So here's corn. Again, it's kind of like once you get a couple of them, they're going to keep reproducing seeds to you. I would say if you had 4 of each and you just kept replanting, you'd be great. You'd be golden. You wouldn't have to go be looking for carbs and all that kind of stuff. So really good. The only thing I've ever got down on till the game started giving me hits. Here's another corn. Till the game started giving me hits on, oh, you know what I didn't check running out here? We have 18 rounds of AK ammo. So here's what the AK looks like. Looks pretty good. The sights are a little whack on all these guns. There is the wild boar. Could probably shoot him. I just save some ammo in case I get chased by a cheetah. Now you can fire this gun full auto. I suggest saving your ammo. So this guy's got raw meat, the animal bone, the animal skin, and then the animal skull. Those are the things we able to make up the armor and cloth and things like that. It's kind of like the things that you need in all these recipes. Once you get going a little bit, like with a gun or a bow and arrow and a good pickaxe, then you don't have to go find it. So it's not like a grind that you have to go way out in the middle of nowhere to find things. You can actually easily start getting your materials that you need, which is awesome, right? That is really good. There's some other games that you have to go out and grind to even find the stuff. The only grind in a game like this is that you actually have to chop down trees, you have to pickaxe rocks, but you know that you're going to get this stuff. You know that you can see it all over the field. So I think that is really good. It makes you want to keep playing, and I'm sure they're going to continue to add to this game. The only thing that I didn't show you would be the placeables, right? So this, most of the stuff you've seen that I built back there, campfire, right? And you can upgrade this. And it's after you place it down, the upgrade button will be on it. The basic shelter you start with, this disappears after 3 days. It's expecting you to make your own bed. There's the workbench, so we can craft that other stuff in there. The wood fence that I surrounded my base with, the water still, and the loom. The drying racks that I made, the furnace, the wood chests, the log cart, and plant beds, and your bed, and finally the anvil. So that's the placeables. You can make some antidotes. I never found this, the medicinal plant. Now, it may be around. I just don't know how to identify it. Could be in a different area. Where I'm at right now getting this particular loot, I've never been over here, and I've never been this far away from where I built my base. Obviously, you can go anywhere you want and build. I just said I built right basically where I spawned. It was on a beach. It was glorious, you know? So sometimes at these loot things, there's people here. But here's the thing, and I said like 10 to 12 enemy bases spawned in, right? So, yeah, no weapons. We haven't been getting any weapons lately, but there's that loot. And that special loot drops once a day, every day. I had one drop right next to my base, and I've had this like one drop 1,300 meters away, which is even farther than this one. The stuff will stay there as long as you play. As soon as you log out, whatever's there as far as loot goes disappears, and you'll just have to wait for more drops. But I'm at the point now, right here, day 18, 1,600 hours, that I've cleared all the enemy bases that spawned in. And it's been 2 days, probably, 2 in-game days, since I finished them off. They're not coming back. That I can see, right? They're not coming back. I don't see any bases coming back. So I think, like I said, I wanted to point out to you guys that it's definitely got a lot of potential. It's quirky. It's quirky, you know, the movements and stuff like this. And sometimes if you look at the sights, you can barely see the front sight. My pistol was down and to the left as well. So the sights are off. There's some typos in the inventory and menus. There's a few small little bugs. I found one that it was like if there was a stick laying next to one of my chests, and I opened the chest and it picked up the stick at the same time accidentally. The big box appeared on my screen that said something about a stick, like, and it's stuck there. And the only way to get it off basically was to log out. I mean, I could pick up a stick then. Like if I picked up this stick, it would go away, but then it would come back as soon as I opened a chest again. Log out, log back in, that's gone. So that's the only small little bug that I found, other than the little quirks and stuff that I talked about. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun, but it's a true early access game, right? It's a true early access game. I don't think there's that many developers working on this, and I think that where it's at right now is pretty darn good. We, as a gaming community, have created this early access, you know, phenomena that developers will release games early, and I think that you got to look at it with your eyes wide open, right? A game like this, for example, it's released early, like the old early access alpha testing used to be. The idea is to get people to play it and help the developer find the bugs, come up with some ideas for expansion and stuff like that, right? That's what these are supposed to be about. Over the last few years, a lot of these early access games turned into money grabs to get your money, and then they don't even finish the game. And the problem with that is, other than taking our money, is that some of the games had super good potential. I'm not going to name them, but there was a couple of games that released and they had enough, you know, to maybe get $5 out of you or something, maybe $9. And they were super fun. You're like, oh my God, this could be really fun. And then nothing. Now, there could be extenuating circumstances where they couldn't complete it. The place went bankrupt. People quit. Whatever. But I guarantee you there were some of them that were money grabs. And they just put out enough to release a game with hype, early access, with maybe a good name and a good theme, and it was a money grab. So there's good and bad to early access stuff. Games like this, if they're inexpensive and the developers are staying on top of it, they have a passion for their game, it could be a good thing, because if you like the game, it could develop into something really good. Now, in all my travels, I only saw one mushroom, and it was over there. I was on my way back from clearing the farthest bases that way, probably about 800 meters. Problem was, I had a full inventory, and everything in my inventory I really wanted, and that mushroom just wasn't that important to me. It was not that important to me, so I didn't actually pick it up. But I did see a mushroom that could be picked up. So that is in the game. As far as, like I said, the medicinal plants, I don't know. I haven't seen anything. It could be just that I'm not double-checking everything. But I've got the fence all the way around. There is no fence gate. There is no way to put a gate on here right now. But I've had one guy, and then two guys, and then two guys and one guy all come over here. And before I built the fence, I had a guy like standing. Well, I should show you on the inside. And I'll show you how these lanterns work. See how the lanterns just kicked on. See how you see the brightness on the fence? You see it right here? It's dusk. They're going to go out. So I had a guy, before I had this platform, came around the corner and started shooting at me right here. And his friend was around the other corner. Then I built the fence, and they were just on the outside. They never, like, tracked in and said, oh, there's an opening in the fence. I'm coming in. Anyway, I'll show you what these look like. They'll go on in a second. But what I wanted to do is do a follow-up video to that first one to just show you what's in here and what you can do. Now, you can keep chopping trees and make a huge base. You can make all the fence you want. There's plenty of wood. There's never-ending wood. There's never-ending nails. It's all of these rocks everywhere, and they all respawn. Even the stuff you get, the little fiber bushes to make the ropes, they respawn, and they're everywhere. So everything respawns. It's not like you clear it and it's gone. And it doesn't really take that long to respawn. So that's pretty cool. But this is what you're looking at. We did look in here, right? Yeah, we looked in here. This is what you're looking at as far as what's in the game right now. I'm going to eat this. I'm going to eat this. Perfect. I was going to eat this thing, but man, I ran all the way there and back and still have all this stuff. Now you see how it's dark? Look, the lanterns, they may be like glowy right there, but the lighting up of the fence is gone. You can kind of see it right here. You could, like, because if you look here at my feet, it's dark, right? Look back there. You can see that the lantern from the inside is working, but it's not working really good in here. If it's elevated, if these were elevated off the ground, which they look like they have hooks on them, but there's no way to hook them on anything yet. Again, pretty early access, you guys. That's the deal with this. Then what you want to do when it's nighttime, if you're done doing your stuff, you come in here, you sleep in your bed. But you saw there was two buttons. There's sleep, right? And there's save. Sleeping doesn't save. Saving saves. I went 2 days, 1 full hour of streaming without saving. And I got in a couple of gunfights, which gunfights aren't that bad. You're probably more likely to get killed by a warthog than a gunfight. I wonder if I could quickly run over here for you guys just to show you. It's not that far, but it's not that close. Yeah, it's actually a little bit farther. But right straight over there is a little swampy area. It looks like a small little inland lake. So it's between this first river that you can see there and the second river, and that's where there's crocodiles, and there's plenty of them. All you need is 2 of them to make the backpack, and right now, as of right now, I don't think there's anything else in the game that requires that, just your backpack. So you can go full auto with this. Just did that to show off a little bit. But for this game right now, oh, you can also shift click out of animals and loot, but you can't shift click in or out of your chests here, which is a little annoying. Like even this log cart, right? I can't shift click this stuff out. You have to drag and drop it. It's the only way to get this out. Same with these chests here. So that's probably going to do it for me with this game until some major updates come out. I'll keep an eye on it. It's pretty fun. Like 15 days worth. Yeah, I was getting after it to collect the stuff to do this, but you can see I'm fully set up here. There's no console commands. This is all, you got to get it yourself. You got to actually play the game, and this is where I'm at with it. And the other really neat thing about this that I really like is, you know when you make stuff and you're like, oh, I didn't want to place it there? You can move anything you make, with the exception of your house. You can move any of this stuff on the ground. And the reason why it's all outside is it wants to be outside. It does not want to be set. It doesn't want to be set inside there. It only wants to be set out here, which is fine because I think it looks better. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this follow-up video. If you were at the stream, you've seen all this happen. If you weren't at the streams, I wanted to make sure you guys on YouTube got to see this. I know a lot of you guys were interested in that first episode. Now you got to see this one. You know, the shotguns and the sniper ammo's in the game. It's possible that the guns aren't in the game yet. But the AK is, the pistol is, and also the combat knife is. So, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the follow-up. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.